Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are not subscribed, please pause this video to do it now, and be sure to hit the notification bell to know when I upload. In this video of my Practice to Perfection series, we are doing another acrylic full set. And I am starting off again, as you see, filing the natural nail down to get the nail prepared for the acrylic. You also want to do this to each nail. Once this is done, I am just taking my client's fingers and matching them up with the specific nail tip that should fit each nail bed. And you want to make sure that the nail tip fits wall to wall. You want to be sure that you are matching the tips up correctly with the nail, because that can make or break your full set of nails. You want to make sure that the nail is not too big. You want to make sure that it's not too small. You want to make sure that it fits just right, as close as you possibly can to your client's natural nail. Again, make sure you're doing this to each nail, and once you are got your matches, you want to go ahead and move on to the gluing process. Again, just like in the last video, I have been using the Kiss brush on nail glue, and so far so good. It has been working out pretty good for me. So once you place the glue onto the nail tip, you want to firmly put it on your client's natural nail and hold for about 10 to 15 seconds, just to be sure. That's the timing that I'm using right now, and I haven't had a problem with it yet. So again, you can see me matching up to nail, making sure that that's the nail that goes there. And again, holding, pressing it down firmly, not too firmly. You don't want to be squeezing your client's nail to the point where they're in pain or cutting off their blood circulation. So you get the point. Let's go ahead and speed up the video a little bit. All right, after we have finished with the thumb, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next process. And that is just taking, I'm using my Ofini electric nail brush, and I am filing the tip of the natural nail where it meets the fake nail. And I'm just drilling that part. I am not drilling the client's natural nail. I'm just drilling the tip of the fake nail. This part of the process is very important because you want to make sure that acrylic is laid down smoothly. And this is exactly what we're about to do. Right now, I am just priming the nails using a nail primer. You want to make sure that you are doing this step before you're placing acrylic onto your client's natural nails. She love it. Look at a little wiggle. All right, and we're about to get started in the acrylic process. I zoomed in on this process, and I did not speed up this part because I wanted you guys to see exactly where I am placing my beads. I've been watching a YouTuber, and she uses a 3-bead method, and even though that method works for her, I find that it was not so much easy for me. What works for me is basically putting the amount that I think is suitable for each nail for the client. Each client's hands and fingers are different. Each person's cuticle beds are different. So it depends on that area and also the thickness of the nail as well regarding how much acrylic to actually put onto the nail. Of course, you don't want the acrylic to be too bulky or anything like that because the nail is going to pop off. So you want to make sure that you're smoothing out each time you add the acrylic on there, building up onto the nail. So here I'm working into the middle section of the nail, which is your apex section, and that should be the thickest section of the nail because that's where the nail gets its strength. Just basically working that acrylic on, and I'm finally going into the same area that I was, placing the acrylic, making sure that the nail has a good thickness to it, but not too bulky. It depends, like I said, it really depends on your client's fingers. Time that you are doing a new nail set on a client, a person's hand can be big, small, skinny, fat, narrow, slim. It really depends how you're going to determine what the nail shape or the acrylic amount would be. So as you can see, I'm just finishing up the pinky here. Sorry for the bad camera angle, but I could not cut this part out. Moving on to the ring finger, again, just a little closer look. I mean, it's hard to tell because my hands, as you can see, are way bigger than hers. So like I said, each person has different amount of, each person's hands are different. So again, I'm starting in the middle where the nail tip meets the natural nail, and that's where I'm placing my first bead and just smoothing it out to the bottom of the nail tip. Going in again, picking up some more acrylic on my brush, and I'm going to come back in and place it just a little bit above that section down to the end of the nail, and I'm going to smooth that out as well. Each layer of acrylic that you add to the nail, it has to be smoothed out unless you're going to get this, it's going to dry hard, and it's going to be bulky, and you don't want that. That's not cute, sis. It's not cute at all. So again, I'm going back into the apex of the section. Again, like I said, that is the thickest, should be the thickest part of the nail. I'm going in again, smoothing everything out, making sure that it's nice coat of acrylic. Still working on her ring finger. Y'all probably said, okay, Nikki, you're taking too long, but I actually take my time. You guys, I'm in training. Even if I wasn't in training, you want to take the time out because Lord knows I hate going to the nail shop and they rushing on my hands because they have a lot of people waiting. No, you're going to take your time. So that's basically what I'm doing here. Taking my time and making sure that acrylic is being placed correctly because wherever that acrylic lays when you first put it in, that's where it's going to harden. So as you can see right there, I just scraped the side because you don't want it to be on your client's skin at all. It hurts taking it off. Trust me, I know. All right, so making sure all of the sides are smooth out on this finger, and we should be moving on to the next fingers soon. Moving on to the thumb. Your thumb and your middle finger are your bigger nail beds on your hand. So with this one, I added just a little bit more acrylic than I used on the pinky and the ring finger, but I'm still placing it into the same spot as I did before, where the nail tip meets the natural nail, and I smoothed that out and went all the way to the bottom with that. As you can see, I'm wiping off my brush with each acrylic that I pick up. So you want to clean your brush off before you put it back into your liquid monomer. So from the first bead, I moved up just a little bit more to the top of the nail, and then I'm smoothing that down as well. This is the part where you're building up your nail to make sure your nail have just a little bit thickness, because you don't want your nails thin to the point where you didn't pull enough acrylic and the client is able to actually bend their nail. That's no, not at all. So I came onto the natural nail, but I didn't go all the way down to the cuticle area. I just came down just a little bit. Smooth the sides out, and you want to repeat the process. This is the apex area where the nail meets the nail tip, which is the part where it needs to be thicker, like I said before. Just smoothing it down and making sure that it's not bumpy at all whatsoever. You want to have a smooth surface on all of your clients' nails. And here you see me going down to the cuticle part, and I am smoothing that down as well. Again, this is tedious, but it's all worth it, trust me. Scraping off the side because you don't want the acrylic to harden on your client's nails, as I said before. And I'm going to just continue this on the rest of her hands. Once the acrylic process is all done, you want to go ahead and take your nail file and just go ahead and shape the nails back into the desired shape that your client wants. For this one, I believe it was just a particular regular square round shape that the client wanted for her hands, and that's exactly what I did. I am using a nail file 100/180 grit, and I ordered these from Long Hair Pretty Nails from her website, and I only paid 99 cents for them. So basically I'm just going in, shaping the nail exactly to the shape that they want. Moving on to the next finger, make sure you press down on the sides to make sure there's no acrylic there, and you want to start there to make sure your nail look as natural as possible, just to be sure that it's the same, lining up the same as the client's natural nail. And you want to come down and mold and shape and file underneath to get a smooth surface and not any sharp edges on the nails, because you do not want that. make sure that you're not going too hard and scraping the nail or scraping the skin of your client. You want to move at a good enough pace to actually get the grit into the nail. All right, after all of your nails are filed, you want to take a nail drill bit with a file on it, and you want to go ahead and smooth that top surface of each of your nails down. You want to make sure that the top of the nail is smooth as possible. After drill filing your nails, you're going to change your drill bit into one without a file on it, and this part is basically smoothing out the cuticle section. You want to make sure that there's no dead skin around this area. You're actually circling this area. I really can't explain it. You just have to look closer to see me doing it. Like now, you see me circling the bottom of the cuticle section to make sure all of, like I said, the dead skin is gone, and you're smoothing out to the top of the nail. You also see me going behind the nail to make sure that's a nice U-shaped behind the nail as well. And we're just going around in the circle of the cuticle part and smoothing out to the top of the tip of the nail, going underneath to make sure that there's no blockage back there at all, and making sure her nail is protected behind all of this that's going on. Again, smooth surface. I can't stress enough how your client needs a smooth nail surface, and to make sure that the nail is always ready for the next section. Smooth, smooth, smooth. That's the goal here. Smooth out the top of the actual nail. Moving along to the buffering section, y'all know this is my favorite part. It's mesmerizing to me. I think this is the most calming part of the nail process. Why? Because it lets your client know that the process of putting the acrylic and actually inserting the nail is all done. And it's time for the fun part. Next, it's going to be the actual art part of doing nails that I call, which is going to be polishing the actual nails. Buffering, buffering, buffering. Polishing the nails, she chose a pink and a silver glitter to go on her ring finger. Most of my clients have been choosing pink polish because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're in October. So that has been the choice for most of my clients, including myself as well. I'm actually skipping the ring finger and moving along and only polishing my first coat. My second coat will come in shortly. I believe I did 3 coats of polish of each, even the silver glitter as well. And I'm just polishing the nails here, taking my time. This part, you want to be careful, of course. You don't want to nick the finger at any point to mess up the polish. You want your client to be very still. You want their hands to be very relaxed with this process. Well, really throughout the whole process, their hands should be relaxed and entrust in you to know what you're doing. So basically, this section part of getting your nails done should be the exciting part. It's fun. You're basically putting your mind together with your client and figuring out what kind of work that they want to see on their nails. Is basically all artwork to me. Polishing nails, designing nails, doing what your client suggests. The art of doing nails is basically you and your client coming together as a team and putting the idea basically on nails so both of you guys can see. And here I am placing the silver onto her ring finger, and like I said, I believe I did 3 coats of polish and also a very shiny top coat on her nail at the end. And of course, we took the allotted time to let the nails dry, and here is the ending results. I really enjoyed doing her nails. She loved the way it came out, and so did I. And that's the end of this video. Until next time, you guys.